So it says, let me explain what you're looking at, first of all. On the screen, we have data here. This table is a table of values of the probability of getting all fives when rolling the number cube one time. Now, that's a fancy way of saying playing Yahtzee. Right? When you play Yahtzee, you have 5 die, right? You roll the die, or dice, 5 dice, I think it's dice. You roll the 5 dice, and they're saying, what is the probability of all 5 of them coming up as 5? That's a Yahtzee, okay? So, when you roll 5 dice, you've got a 1 in 6 chance of 1 becoming, when you roll 2, you get a 1 in 36 chance, and so on and so forth. So then it says, what is the end behavior? Well, what we could do is graph this and take a look. So what I want you guys to do is turn on your calculators, okay? You guys are pros at this. Go ahead and hit stat, right? Go to edit, and then you have your list. How do I clear out that first list? Go to the top of L1. What button do I hit? Hit clear. And then what that does, I'll hit enter, and we'll bam with the bacon sizzle. I'll do the same thing with list 2, L2. And what do you think I'm gonna put in oops, I hit the wrong button. What do you think I'm gonna put in that first column? Yeah, so I'm gonna put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Now this next column, I can enter it in as a fraction, or I can enter it in as a decimal. For time's sake, I'm just going to say 1 divided by 6. And when I hit enter, it converts it to a decimal. For the next one, I'm going to do 1 divided by 36. It'll convert it to a decimal. Then the next one, I'm going to do 1 divided by 216. It'll convert it. Then the next one, I do 1 divided by, what's the next number? 1296. And then for the next one, I'm going to have 1 divided by 7776. These are all right from your notes. Okay. All right. So now how do I graph this? No. I'm going to hit zoom. Then what option do I choose?
The bottom one.
Number 9. So I go down to 9. Hit enter. No, we're not going to do any of that because the question is about the end behavior. So this is what it looks like. Okay? This is what it looks like. Now, if you have a line or something, just go to y equals and just clear that out. Yes? Change them to what? Oh, okay. So the question the student said was, how do I change the marker? So go to second, y equals, that takes you to the stat plot menu. Then hit enter, and then you can change that. So it sounds like a student in my previous class changed it to something else. Anyways, that's how you change it back. So let's take this you want to sketch. I'll take a little screenshot and plug it into the notes here. Yeah, we're going to sketch this one out. Because it's not asking the value, it just wants to know what is the end behavior. And the end behavior is based on the graph. So if I take this little graph, let me make it a little smaller. All right, there we go. This is a possibility. These are probabilities, right? Let me read this to you. This is a probability, right? When I roll 1 dice, I get a 1 in 6 chance. All right? So that's cool. That's this first one, right? So when I roll 1 die, I have a 1 in 6 chance of getting a 5. So that's good. When I roll 2 die, I have a 1 in 36. So that's 2 comma 1 in 36. But these are probabilities. So when it says, what is the end behavior? Well, the end behavior is you kind of follow the path. So we don't need a calculator, but just kind of sketch a line through the dots. Okay? And then just imagine what goes on if I keep going to the right. Yeah, so what you would want to say is as x approaches positive infinity, this little arrow is the mathematical way to say the word approach. Approaches. And actually, we should probably change that. It's not technically x. What is it?
N.
N. Very good. So as n approaches positive infinity, p of n, and who said that? Was that you, Maya? What did you say it was? What's it approach? Okay, well, hold on a second. Let me finish my thought here. Somebody over here said it approaches 0. Who said that? Oh, was it? Okay. Well, p of n approaches 0, right? So if you look at the y value, right, p of n, it approaches 0. Now, what about as n approaches negative infinity? That means we're going to follow the curve towards negative infinity this way, right? So remember, we've graphed, this is n, and this direction up here is p of n. So what I'm saying is, as I go to, so this means as I go to the right on the graph, my y value approaches 0. As I go to the left on the graph, what is my y value approach?
1.
Infinity.
Infinity. So p of n approaches infinity. Sort of, right? Sort of. So now that second one doesn't mean a whole lot, because you would never roll a half a roll. You would never roll 1/2 of a dice or a die. You know what I mean? You'd never roll 0 die and expect to get a value, right? So this kind of caps off. So this one right here doesn't really make any sense. So you could just kind of scribble it out. But I just wanted you to think about end behavior. So what is the end behavior? This is the end behavior, but what does that mean? What does that mean? As you increase the number of dice, what is that probability approach? 0. What does that mean? That's right. It means that it's almost impossible. In other words, if I roll 10 dice, the odds of me getting 10 of those dice to all equal 5 is almost impossible. Well, that's why the lottery ticket is so hard to win. They give you lots of numbers to choose from, and they keep increasing the number. By them having 6 numbers, and the numbers going from 0 to 60, or I don't know what the numbers go to, what they're doing is they're making it almost impossible to win. People still can win because there's millions and millions of people winning. What and one last thing, when we're talking about probability, this is not related to the lesson, but I want you to think about this. This is saying that you would have to roll the dice 7,776 times, and out of that many times, you would expect for you to get all 5 fives once. So you have a 1 in 7,776 times chance of rolling all 5 fives. So when you play Yahtzee, and Yahtzee, in the game of Yahtzee, when you roll all 5 dice, I don't know why I keep saying die, when you roll all 5 dice, the chance of you getting Yahtzee on the first roll is 1 in 7,776. By the way, grab your calculator real quick.
What is 6 to, whoops, let me write this down. What is 6 to the 5th power? 7,776. It's 6 raised to the 5th power. 6 times 6 times 6, 5 times, right? Did you guys get that? That's a little extra.
Well, there's 6 sides to a dice.
Yeah, so you got a 1 in 6